Hi, this is my Dollhouse in the spring of 2018. Right now, the current dimensions that it is sitting in is 60 inches long by 48 inches high. Each of the boxes are built individually and they are made out of MDF. I made each box so that it could be rearranged or repositioned, or even the walls taken down and lengthened or shortened as needed. Okay, so now we're going to go into a little bit of a detail with each of the rooms. I'm going to break down what I've done in each of the rooms and how they were constructed a little bit individually and the dimensions. But like I stated earlier, currently the four boxes sit in a space of 60 inches long by 48 inches high. And then the rooms are 24 inches deep themselves. I did not state that earlier. So those are the current dimensions of these four rooms. Okay, the first room I'm going to talk about is actually the first room I completed. The current dimensions of this room are 36 inches long, 24 inches high, and then it is 24 inches deep. The reason why they're only 24 inches deep is that is really the length, the width that you can fit through a door. So that's why they'll never be any more than 24 deep, but length can change on that. So 36 is a really nice length. It's probably my favorite length. And going forward, we'll probably build rooms no less than 36 just because this is really a nice size. Once I get smaller than that, I kind of feel like the rooms get really cramped. I'm going to talk a little bit now about what the room is made out of. The room is made out of an MDF board that is a 1/2 inch thick. I purchased these at Home Depot. I actually asked them to cut the wood for me and they did very kindly. The box is then glued together with wood glue and then nails. So the construction is really simple. My husband was kind enough to actually do the construction part for me. I have no construction skills, so I really did need his help on that. Then the floor, I purchased those stick-on tiles also at Home Depot. And those stick-on tiles, I believe, are about 87 cents a piece, being that the room is 36 inches long and 24 inches deep. The tiles are 12 by 12, so I purchased 6 tiles to complete the floor. And I really do like, probably that is my favorite flooring that I purchased. Then the walls are just white paint with some gray paint, and then on 2 of the walls are white and gray paint with a plastic chair rail piece that I also purchased at Home Depot, very inexpensive, and my husband was very kind to put that up for me. Then the other wall where the brick wall is, that is, first I painted the gray, then dry brushed white to give it a distressed look, and then Mod Podged over scrapbook paper that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. I did cut the bricks apart a little bit just to give it a little more interesting of a look. So that's the overall room there. And then up on the top, there are 3 of those puck lights. They are operated with a remote control, which I really like, but you can also just reach up and touch them and turn them on and off. And as for the stuff in the room, a lot of that was made by myself with a lot of help from my husband. So the back wall there, I do get a lot of comments on that or questions asking how that is completed. And how that was completed was there is electric grid lighting. I don't even know the total term or the correct term for that. But you can purchase that at Home Depot. It is over in their lighting section. And it is a plastic grid that is intended to go over fluorescent light fixtures. I just purchased one, and it was pretty inexpensive. I don't remember the exact cost of that, so I apologize for that. But anyway, so I purchased that there at Home Depot, that electric light grid. Cut it apart, and then super glued pieces on there to make shelves and some baskets, and I'll show you some more close-up details of that in a moment. And then the clothes rack is just a piece of wood that I purchased at Hobby Lobby, cut that apart, and then glued a dowel in between there. And the table, that is 2 wooden letter X's that I purchased at I purchased at Hobby Lobby. had a piece of the MDF left over from making the boxes and just glued them on there. So that's my line of construction, glue. So that worked really well. So those are the big furniture pieces in this room that were made by me or were not purchased. And now I'll kind of go into the room and show you a little bit more about what is in the room and talk about some of those items because I do get questions on those, and I'll kind of break that down a little bit. So this little purse rack I have here, I actually purchased this at Goodwill. I believe it is actually used to be a cutting board holder, so you can just turn it on the back side and it actually is a little bit elevated or stepped up type thing so that you can look at that. It was very inexpensive. It works for my purposes of holding the bags. I really don't know where you could purchase another one like that, so I'm sorry I couldn't be of help with that. The next purchase is this little metal chair. They sell them at Hobby Lobby, very inexpensive. They do sell them in spring colors. I just spray painted mine silver to give it the urban look or the more modern look. So just spray paint with mirror finish on there. So that was how that was completed. I have several of these little bins and baskets throughout my dollhouse. I use them to store different things in. Obviously one of them right now is storing some shopping bags, one's storing some extra shoes, and one's storing some sports equipment. All of these were purchased at Hobby Lobby, very inexpensive. There are similar types of products to these over at the Dollar Tree, so that's also another great place to look for little purchases of those types of things. Here's another view of my clothing rack. I am planning to make another one just taller. This is a little on the short side, and I didn't realize that as I first built that, so there will be a new clothing rack coming in the near future. Back here is a shoe rack that I created using an old advent calendar that I had. So there's 24 little spots on there. I managed to fit 24 pairs of shoes in there, and then there's a few extra that just did not fit, and I put those up on top, and I think that's really a cute type of thing. So just like with everybody else with their dollhouses, it's just what you can repurpose into something else different. So really like my little shoe holder there. The lantern hanging there was a Dollar Tree purchase, and the beads were from a My Life set that I purchased. I believe it is retired. I'm not sure if you can still purchase it at Walmart. I did purchase mine off eBay because the price was right, and it also had a little lava lamp in it that I really wanted for my 70s feel rooms. Over here on the wooden table, I often change the display of what I have on here. Sometimes I have hats sitting here. Sometimes I have all the glasses up here, just depending on what I want to do with the scene that I'm setting up. It's one of my favorite things to probably change around. That wooden cactus came with the kitchen set that I purchased from Amazon, and I believe that kitchen is called Emmy, and we'll talk more about the kitchen as we get up there into the kitchen room. The cash register was from the My Life Market set, and I just keep that here in the store. And then these are just some of the jewelries and little purse I have sitting up there. That tray that's sitting there, that is from an Our Generation baseball snack kit that I purchased, and I just used that to be a jewelry display. I did forget to mention the posters on the back, and where those posters came from is I googled popular 1970s posters, saved those images, and then printed those onto photo paper so that I'd have the nice glossy look of 1970s posters. The room almost empty at this point. What's sitting in there now is just that back grid that I created as a screen. I created that screen, one, because I think it makes an adorable little feature to have a store with the grid in there. It's so common that you see in any clothing type store. So that's great. Also, it's awesome for storage. I'm able to store a lot of different things on that with the shelves, and then that basket at the bottom. I use that to store boots in there, so that's fun. And then the two little shelves I'm able to use as display things. And then with some S-hooks, I'm able to take hangers and hang things off that way. So I believe it's real fun like that, and it's been a lot of fun to set up little different displays. But it also gives you a good view of what the store room looks like without anything in it. So, and you can see behind there peeking out as Julie's bleachers, and that's really what the screen was first made for, was just to hide that bleacher set, because initially this was going to be a gym slash store slash a lot of different things. And it still may stay that way. It's just a little hard to put the basketball hoop in there because at 24 inches, it's just not enough height to kind of give the whole feel of a basketball room. I mean to say gym. Okay, so that's where that is. But I'll now start to pull the screen out a little bit so you can get a good view of what that actually looks like. This is the process of pulling it out. So you can see behind there now is the bleachers, the circus stand, the disco ball, the scoreboard are all stored behind there, and they just fit really nicely on that little rack there. So I'm going to continue pulling everything out so you guys get a better view of all of it. All right, so here is the back side of the screen. And with that, you can see I have a couple more of those little baskets that I purchased at Hobby Lobby up there that hold some things that just don't get a lot of use. One of them is the pegs that go on the scoreboard. One of them is pieces to a gymnastics set that I have. And I'm not really sure. Oh, I think the other one has some napkins and those types of things in there. So those are the types of things. We have Julie's popcorn set sitting there and an extra bowl. So those are the things that are just kind of on the back of it. So that can kind of give you a good view of what that back looks like there. Bleachers set up there with 3 dolls sitting on the bleachers. And as you can see, the bleachers are quite large when they're pulled out to be able to hold 3 little dolls sitting up there. And here's another view of the room with the bleachers set up like that. So there we go. Like that kind of gives you an overall view of what that would look like with the bleachers out. So I have the room put back together, and that's just the overall what it looks like after everything's been kind of pulled back and put back together. I also have to say how much I really love this room. As for play value, I think a store is really a great option. I'm so glad I built that as my first store, or my first room. It is just so versatile. Like I said, I can make it the gym, I can make it a school, I can make it a store, I can make it a restaurant. I can do so many different things with it. It's great for storage because I can put everything out there on display. I think that if you're going to build your first AG room, honestly, really consider building a store, especially if you have a little one. What little one doesn't love to play store? And just the way that you can accessorize it and add things to it and take things out. Plus, also, if you have a little one, you're going to need a place to store all the stuff and keep it all put up together. So that's the store. That's the first room there. And like I said, the dimensions are 36 inches long, 24 inches high, with a depth of 24 inches. So the next room I have on the bottom right now is my outdoor scene. And sadly, this one is probably going to be changed the most. The current dimensions are 24 inches wide by 24 inches long by 24 inches high. It is a very small room, and it just fills up really quickly. I'm going to take the girls out of the room so I can give you a little bit more detail about what I have in there, even though this is a simple, not simple room. Okay, so this is my outdoor scene. The current dimensions of the room are 24 inches wide by 24 inches high by 24 inches deep. So it is a very small room. It's the smallest room I have. It's simple and not simple because the murals that were painted on there were painted by my husband, and so those are a little bit more talented than I am. And so I say simple because there's not a lot of construction in this room, but there is a lot of work in the fact that he did all that painting for me. The back where the store window is just a picture frame purchased at the Dollar Tree. I did use a Cricut to cut out some vinyl to make the store sign on there. The lights are just fairy lights wrapped around that frame there. And then there is the Walmart Flower Market. That's the My Life brand, I think that is. And then the Julie's bicycle. And then the sidewalk is a piece of MDF glued in the box on top with a piece of the slate tile that you can purchase at Home Depot and just cut down a little bit so it would make that raised sidewalk. The road is made from using the textured stone spray paint that you can buy. And that comes in a gray color, and then I dry brushed black paint over it to give that asphalt feel to it. So simple but not simple room. Okay, next up on the tour is the living room, and I have to say how much I really love this room too. A lot of work went into this room and a lot of design ideas went into it. It does look like the room that Fixer Upper needs to be called for help with, but it is I did create this recently. It is pretty much a recreation of what my living room looked like as a child growing up. So much of it is just brings back so many good memories for me. I do love it. There are a couple more things I want to add, especially some artwork and a couple mirrors in there. Just doesn't seem the 70s without a mirror in there to me. I'm going to take the girls out of the room and give you a little bit more details about what I did in this room and how I came up with some of the things that were done in there. The overall dimensions on this room, though, are 30 inches length and then 24 inches high and then 24 inches depth. It's about the right size. I do wish it just had that few more inches. That 36 inches would have been really good. So, but still, it's a great room, and not much that I'm going to probably change about it. I will most likely leave it the same way. The carpet is a rug that was purchased at IKEA. It gives that wonderful 70s shade carpet feel. The couch I made myself. The wall behind the couch has a bandana that I purchased at Hobby Lobby very inexpensively, and then it is also painted orange behind that to give that real 70s groove to it. The bandana serves as a tapestry that was pretty common on walls. Then the other two walls have paneling on them. So the box itself, though, is constructed out of the MDF. We did add the additional paneling to this one. You can kind of see there's a little bit of extra wood there. I stained it mahogany so that would give that nice red color to it. And then the fireplace is a lot of work. I'm lucky that I have a very kind and patient husband. He helped me out with a lot of that. So what that is there's a piece of MDF that we took a ceiling panel that you can purchase at Home Depot. They're plastic. They bend really easy and can form to shape really nicely. So we kind of just lined things up, cut it apart, and then glued it on there. It did take a little bit of patience and time to get that glued on there. So we glued the main part on there, so the widest part on there first. Set a lot of books on there so it was weighed down. Waited patiently, a couple days actually, so that it was really stuck on there well. And then I was able to bend the other side piece over there to curve around the corner. And then we had that little extra piece there of the copper or plastic to bend around there. The fireplace itself, or the tile part, was just a sheet of tile that I purchased at also Home Depot, as much of the construction pieces were purchased there. I did not purchase tile adhesive. I just used hot glue to glue that down. The tiles are pretty even on there for somebody who has no experience at tile work. So that's just kind of the overall types of things in the room. Then for the accessories, a lot of those are from Julie's retired set. So particularly those white and orange tables are from Julie's retired room accessories. The record player and the record case and the tape recorder are also from that same, or not from the same. The tape recorder, the record player, and the record box there are from Julie's retired sound accessories. The terrarium on there, the white one, that is also from Julie's retired accessories. The rest of the plants I picked up either from Walmart, our My Life kit, or they are just plastic plants that I purchased Target, Hobby Lobby, and the Dollar Tree. The phone back there, I don't know if you can see that a little bit. So that phone is from Julie's current room accessories, and that you had to have a yellow phone in the 70s. And then that lamp, how I created that lamp is it was a pencil holder that I turned upside down and I stuck onto a wooden candlestick from Hobby Lobby that I had also stained the same color of the walls. And then I stuck fairy lights in there to give it some movement of light in there. I did create the couch myself. It was cardboard, foam, and batting and material. So I do plan on making another couch because there's a little bit of mistakes on this one that I can redo, and then I can make a nice video of that to show everyone else with that. The violin, the guitar are from American Girl. I did not purchase those new. I did purchase those through eBay. And then the keyboard is from Our Generation from Target. So I think that kind of covers everything. Oh, two things I did not cover. So the picture behind there was a Dollar Tree purchase, and then the light over there was from Joann Fabrics, and I purchased that just recently, and I do know that they still have those. So if you're watching this in the spring of 2018, you may still be able to get one of those. So that is what the lamp looks like taken apart. So I actually had made two, but I didn't have room for two. So that is what it would look like. So just the candlestick and then the cup holder like that. And I can turn this over. Oh, I turned it over. So there, that's what they look like to make the lamp that I made. And the room I've most recently created was, not created, but completed, is the kitchen. And I'm very, very pleased with how this came out. This is so much of the very kitchen I grew up in, and even my husband. There's just so many things that brought back so many fond memories for both of us as we completed this room. So I'll kind of move things around and give you some more details about this room. So this room is 30 inches long by 24 inches high by 24 inches deep. It is also made of the MDF. The walls are wallpapered with scrapbook paper I purchased at Hobby Lobby, and I just Mod Podged it on there. The bottom portion on two walls are painted yellow, and I just bought one of those little paint samplers from Home Depot and gave me more than enough paint to paint that. And then the plastic chair rail that was used down in the storeroom, it was used up here too. The table and chairs are from Julie's retired kitchen set. You can purchase those on eBay. I see them there all the time. And then the kitchen is an Amazon purchase that I painted, and with the help of my husband was able to modify some things. So, and then some of the other little accessories in there. The slow cooker was an American Girl set that I purchased locally from somebody who was selling that, so that was fun. And then some other things that are just stacked up in there. Oh, I do get some questions about the tray and the little Tupperware pitcher. Those are also from Julie's retired room accessories. I purchased those off eBay. It's pretty hard to find a complete set. In fact, I actually have never seen a complete set on eBay. So that if you find one, snatch it up. They're really fun. And then, but that includes the metal tray, the pitcher, 2 cups, and the orange Tang container there. So, oh, and then the hanging lamp, how I completed that is, it is a parfait cup I purchased at the Dollar Tree, turned upside down, glued a little hook on it, then attached a length of chain that I purchased at Home Depot to add the hanging lamp thing. And then the eat is 3 letters I purchased at Hobby Lobby, then covered with contact paper. The Starburst mirror is a Dollar Tree purchase. And then there's just a lot of little accessory things that I've added in there. The butter dish is from the slow cooker set. The fan is actually from the Fairy Garden section at Hobby Lobby that I got on clearance for 75 cents. And then as you zoom back, let's see, we have some stuff on top of the refrigerator. So I have the American Girl cooler with Julie's lunchbox, some lemons that I purchased from a lemonade set from Amazon, and a cookie jar that I purchased, a little glass jar at Hobby Lobby as usual. So, and then the kitchen there itself. So I'm really pleased with the kitchen. I'm going to kind of pull some things around so I can give you guys a little bit more detail about the kitchen itself and what I did to complete that in order to modify that. All right, so I turned the kitchen around so you could get a better look on that. Oh, one thing I do need to include too is the flooring in the kitchen, also purchased at Home Depot. It is the stick-on tiles, and I think they are under 50 cents if I remember right a piece, and I used 5 of them to complete that. And then there's a little bit of brown trim there on the floor, also purchased at Home Depot to just give it that finished baseboard look. All right, so here is the kitchen itself there. And so when you purchase it off Amazon, it does come unassembled. which was perfect for my purposes because it left me the ability to paint it just the color I wanted. The set also from Amazon, the refrigerator will come with a round top. I just had my very kind husband cut that to a flat top. That was just very common in the 70s. And then the set comes with some hardware for the knob, or for the, not for the knobs, but yes, for the knobs and for the poles. The poles would have been fine, except for I really wanted that really 70s feel. And with that, they were really solid metal pieces. And so I did purchase different knob poles or handle poles from Home Depot. It was the Martha Stewart line if you're looking to just recreate that whole look. And then the backsplash, I'm sure you recognize the copper from that was on the fireplace in the living room, and I just had some extra sheets of, or extra pieces of that, and use that as a black splash for the kitchen there. Then the kitchen, like I said, I did paint that, and it was a little bit tricky because you kind of figure out what needs to be painted what when you want the appliances different from the cupboards and you want that two-tone look, or you could even do more than two colors on it. Refrigerator is super easy. Those pieces are self-contained and it works great. Now the counter and the cupboard and all that, you have to figure out exactly how that all works together. I just kind of dry fitted it all together, looked at the schematics and figured out what needed to be painted. And then with the help of some sandpaper, where I sanded off the gloss of the pre-finish on there, and some tape, lots of tape, I spray painted everything up. So, and even there's a little bit of overbleed or some mistakes that were made. Don't worry about it. You can always touch it up. That is the beauty of paint. So I'm going to open up a little bit of the cupboards and stuff so you can kind of get a look of what we did in there. So I pulled the kitchen out, and here's another look at it. So I have the refrigerator door open there, and as you can see as I kind of zoom in here that I did not tape the refrigerator door really well there. So I do need to go back and do some touch-up white on that. And then the little white bins, I did purchase those separately at the Dollar Tree, just trying to keep things a little organized, and plus I thought it made like a little nice crisper there. And then over here on the stove, I do have the stove top, and you will have to tape that all off if you want to paint that the same color as your appliances there. And then down here, those wooden knobs come with the set as they are. I just took a marker and added a little bit of detail there to it. And then there is the knobs on there, and I'm going to open that up and show you that. There we have the oven that I painted black, and then I added a little bit more of that plastic grid that we used in the screen for the store to make a rack. And then over here I did the same in the dishwasher. And then to make the dishwasher basket, all I did was I purchased a plastic basket at Dollar Tree, cut it exactly in half, layered it on top of each other, and super glued it together. So there you go in there. And then up here, going towards this sink, the white plastic sink actually comes in the set. I did paint the drain part silver, and then the knobs are from the very commonplace paperclip holder that you can purchase off Amazon. And I was just able to get the knobs to come right off, and then a little bit of finagling to get the spigot to come off. But they all just fit easily into the holes that were pre-drilled with the set. So there you go, like that. Anyway. So, and then the mixer comes with the set. I did paint that a little bit differently. And then I do really think this is a really well-designed set for the price. It was $99, and that included, shipping and handling if you're a Prime member. But the little drawer comes out. Oh, of course, it's not going to come out easily because I'm trying to film it. So there's the drawer. And so that offers additional storage there. And then you have the cupboard that offers some more storage there. So there's a lot of storage there. And then as you've already seen on the back side, I even have where I have the crock pot there. So, and it came with lots of little things like the canisters and the spice rack and tons of little things. Some things I probably won't use just because I just don't need that much stuff, but there's a lot of product in there. And even that little white stool comes with it, and a trash can. So for the price, like I said, I think it's a good value. now I'm going to flip the kitchen around and I'm going to show you another detail that I added onto it. Okay, so now I flipped the kitchen around and you can see the back, and you can see I have copper on the bottom and this black thing on the back, and you're wondering what that is probably about. And what that is I have added this little Velcro strip so I can pull this off. So if I wanted to set the kitchen up differently, I can have that type of look with it. So I've thought about, like, if I want to do little scenes with coffee shops or things like that. I just think that would be really cute. And then I can just take that piece of Velcro and add a sign on there. So I just think that'll be another little added fun thing that I've done. As you've probably figured out, I like versatility within my rooms. So there we go. Okay, so one last thing I want to cover is the lighting a little bit. So I have 3 types of lights within the house. One being those puck lights that I purchased off Amazon, and you can operate with a remote control, and I have one of the remotes sitting up there, but you can just hit off and it's off, hit on and it's on. And one remote will actually control any of the lights in there, so I can actually do it for the whole house or not do it, or just do it room by room. So it's nice, and especially like if you have a little one, they can have one remote out and you can have one put away for when that is inevitably lost or misplaced. And then the other remote that's sitting there controls the fairy lights. And just like the puck lights, it has that one remote will control all the fairy lights too. So it's not towards each light. And then there's this bar light here, and that is a motion detector light. Probably not my favorite light because I can't always control when it comes on and off. So probably not my best thought out thing. I just really liked the length of that bar look because, oh boy, that was so 70s. So there we go on the lighting. One more thing I'll show you, just kind of the instructions that you're going to get to put the kitchen together. So here are the instructions that you get to put the kitchen together, and that is actually the last page I'm showing you. I will flip this over. Here, okay, I'll flip this over. And that shows you all the little pieces that you get. And so you can see my little check marks there. And you just go through it. And then that's really kind of how I figured out what needed to be painted and what did not need to be painted. So good instructions. And I will say it really is a good value. I only had one minor gripe, and that's that the countertop came with a small little chip in it. I did contact the company to have it replaced. It never came, so it just wasn't worth continuing to ask them to resend it. And the small little chip, I don't think it matters that much, and if anything, it leads to character in the whole set. Thank you for stopping by and taking the tour of my dollhouse. I am so happy to share it with you, and as things change in it, I will try to keep videos updated on it. I truly love making them and have plans for many more things, and just such a great hobby and such a great community to be part of. And thank you all for your support and your encouragement and just your nice, kind, and wonderful words that you've displayed with me. So thanks so much. Hope you enjoy the tour. Bye for now.